The Forever Gift, The Gift Series Number 2, written by Donna K. Weaver, narrated by Sandra W. Parker. Chapter 1. Hey, beautiful. Jason Lee sauntered into the main office. Rae Cavanaugh pursed her lips in disgust. Handsome men should keep their cliched antics to themselves. She refused to glance in the direction of the staff door where Flirtmeister stood. From the corner of her eye, she could tell he was looking in her direction. She didn't need him to bug her right now, not while she was fighting to meet the end-of-month deadline. The protection of widowhood was wearing off, and more than once Rae had wished she lived in the time when people had to wait a full year before being expected to socialize. She and her late husband had been married for 5 years. It seemed an eternity since she'd been the target of a man's interest. She didn't like it. Where was Dylan? Her friend and coworker always managed to discourage too much of the come-on. I said, hey, beautiful. Jason Lee stopped in front of her desk, obviously peeved she was ignoring him. Rae exchanged a quick glance with Amelia, the office manager. She shrugged. The older woman had more patience with their newest termite inspector. Yes, his Eurasian handsomeness gave him an almost exotic look, but as far as Rae could tell, he flirted with everyone with XX chromosomes, whether customer or coworker. He used it to his advantage and had the highest sales in the office. Once she'd become the target of his attentions, she'd wished more than once he'd take a job with one of those national chains instead of a small local pest control company like Green. Hello, Jason. I'm kind of in a time crunch right now. She didn't have to try to make herself sound stressed. You need to take a break, love. Rae cringed internally at the endearment. Jason reached over like he meant to touch her shoulder, but she leaned out of his reach. A flash of surprise crossed his face, but it was quickly replaced by one of a man accepting a challenge. How do you know I didn't just come off a break? Rae asked, hurriedly. Did she, Amelia? Jason asked with a chuckle. Rae shot her friend a pleading glance. She didn't. Traitor. If Amelia thought this was how to get Rae to start dating again, she'd have to set the woman straight. That's what I thought. Jason's voice had turned low and soft. He put his hand on her desk near her keyboard, only a couple of inches from her hand. You're working too hard, love. Rae pulled back and looked up at him for the first time since he'd entered the room. His expression was sincere and even a little concerned.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?